Hi everyone, it's Deva and Eric with Century 21 Award.
Hi there. We're here to talk to you today about move-up buying. This is when you sell one property to buy a larger or better property.
There are a couple of different ways this kind of move can be accomplished.
One way to do this is to first sell the home you're living in, put the proceeds in the bank, and move into temporary housing, and then begin your new home search.
Making your move this way involves moving all of your stuff twice. Many people don't even want to think about this since it's so much work.
However, this is the cleanest way to make this move from a transactional perspective, since you can write a non-contingent offer and put yourself in the strongest negotiating position.
So, can you explain what you mean by non-contingent?
Yes, I'll attempt to give a short answer since the explanation can get fairly complicated. A contingency is something that must happen before a buyer can proceed with their purchase. Getting a loan approval, getting an appraisal, doing an inspection, these are all contingencies, and all offers are contingent on something. Even an all-cash offer is going to have at least an inspection contingency for a minimal inspection of the property. In this case, what we mean by non-contingent is that the buyer does not have to sell a property in order to purchase the next property. There would still be contingencies for things like appraisals and loans and inspections.
Having the home you're moving out of sold and your money in the bank definitely makes for the cleanest offer going into the next property. But what do you do if that just isn't possible or practical?
Right. Most people I talk to do not want to do the two-move scenario. And I have had people who are able to qualify for the replacement property without selling or renting the old one, but that's rare.
If you're like most people, you're going to need to sell or rent your departure property before you can close escrow on a replacement. In this situation, the best thing to do is put your current home on the market and accept an offer from a buyer contingent upon you finding a suitable replacement property.
Yes, this scenario tends to make people nervous, although I will tell you, it is this scenario in which we've had the most success. Having your current home in escrow, or at the very least on the market, makes it much easier to get your offer accepted by a seller.
We've helped some people who aren't willing to list their current home until they find a replacement property. This is the most difficult contingent offer to get a seller to accept, right?
Yes, telling a seller, I want to buy your home and I have to sell my home, but I'm not even going to try and sell my home until you accept my offer, is the most difficult contingent offer scenario that I can think of.
The last thing you really want going into negotiations with a seller is a weak offer.
Unless, of course, you're working with a phenomenal agent who can convince the seller's agent of their ability to get the contingent property sold quickly.
These situations can get very complicated, and since there are so many moving parts and so many people involved, lots of things can go wrong. Many times the closings on these types of transactions are delayed for one reason or another. People have all sorts of logistical issues moving out of their old home and into the new one for a variety of reasons. We could definitely tell you some stories.
Yes, we certainly could. I've got lots and lots of stories for sure, and some of them just happened last month. Most people who opted for the more complicated contingent scenarios wish they had just sold their old house first and moved twice. Of course, this just isn't always possible. And these contingent scenarios are actually not all that uncommon, especially once you start getting into higher price points, larger homes. Many people are going to have a departure property that they have to sell.
And at the end of the day, in order to accomplish either a contingent or a non-contingent move up, you need a great agent. And we believe we are the right agents for this job. If you decide to use our services for your move up purchase, ask about our move up buyer special, which will get you some cash back for closing on your new property.